Welcome to a new deep dive.
Uh,
Today, we're unlocking a forgotten chapter in medical history, really peering into a vintage guide that, well, it once served as a kind of household doctor.
That's right.
We're talking about a fascinating book titled A Guide to Homeopathic Practice, designed for the use of families and private individuals. But honestly, that's just our starting point today.
What's truly remarkable here isn't just the specific wisdom within this 1886 guide, which was published by Isaac D. Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
It's the profound context it emerges from this huge, carefully assembled collection.
Mm-hmm.
It really feels like we're actively reclaiming a legacy that was, almost lost to time.
That's exactly right. So our mission today is to explore this particular homeopathic guide in some detail, really understand its purpose and maybe its impact back then.
Okay.
Then we'll zoom out a bit to reveal the extraordinary collection it belongs to, the Botanical Archives. And this isn't just about dusty old books. It's about uncovering practical knowledge, maybe challenging some historical narratives, and rediscovering a deep connection to natural healing traditions. Yeah.
Prepare for some genuine aha
Yeah.
moments, I think, as we unpack this.
That's good.
So let's really dig into this guide first. A Guide to Homeopathic Practice, published in Philadelphia by F.E. Borick. It's a substantial book, 532 pages.
Wow.
Originally called the Homeopathic Family Guide, which tells you something. It clearly wasn't written for, doctors and clinics.
No, definitely not.
It was meticulously designed for you, the family member, right there in your home way back in 1886. You can almost picture it, can't you? A parent maybe turning its pages late at night looking for answers for a sick child.
It's a really powerful testament to a time when self-reliance in healthcare wasn't just like a philosophy, it was a flat-out necessity.
Right.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, just think about the medical landscape back then, late 19th century. Hospitals weren't common, doctors were often expensive, hard to reach.
Yeah, inaccessible for many. Exactly. And our modern pharmaceutical industry, still just getting started. So this guide, it wasn't just a book. It was an indispensable tool. It gave comprehensive instructions for diagnosing common problems and preparing remedies right there
At home.
at home. For instance, it really dives into the core ideas of homeopathy as they understood it, then, emphasizing minimal doses and that law of similars.
The idea that cures basic.
Precisely. The idea that a substance causing symptoms in a healthy person could, in tiny doses, cure similar symptoms in someone who was sick.
And it wasn't just theory, was it? I mean, this was hands-on stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
The book actually gave instructions on how to potentiate remedies through succussion. That vigorous shaking they believed activated the energetic properties of the diluted stuff.
Right, the shaking.
Think about that. A family member wasn't just reading about a remedy, they were actively preparing it.
Making it themselves.
Yeah. And it had a really detailed index too, didn't it? Which made it incredibly practical for quickly looking up, say, a cold, a cough, or maybe more serious fevers or digestive troubles. One thing that jumped out at me was its clear guidance on using plant extracts like Bryonia alba for chest colds. It specified not just the remedy, but the exact dilutions and how often a family member should give it.
That really highlights a very active, very informed role for the ordinary person in their family's health, doesn't it?
It really does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about quick fixes either. It was about understanding a whole system. The sheer size, over 500 pages, tells you the depth of information went way beyond just a basic first aid pamphlet.
Well, for sure.
It really speaks to a commitment to providing thorough knowledge for managing health at home. And what's fascinating is how it reflects this public demand for medical knowledge that was accessible, understandable.
Before everything became so institutionalized.
Exactly. Before conventional medicine really took over, it shows a different kind of trust. Trust in direct experience, in carefully observed principles, rather than just relying on a distant, maybe even intimidating medical establishment.
So while that 1886 guide is, fascinating all by itself, its true significance really snaps into focus when we see it as just one piece of this much larger, incredibly ambitious project.
Okay, this is where it gets really compelling.
Yeah. Our guide to homeopathic practice is a treasured part of something called the Botanical Archives. And this isn't just a few random old books someone found.
No, it's curated.
It's a meticulously curated collection of over 75 vintage books, all published between 1800 and 1950. Just imagine the collective wisdom packed into over a century of these historical texts, all focused on natural healing and plant knowledge.
And what's truly compelling here is the powerful intent behind this collection. The creators say it quite boldly. They tried to erase it.
It gives you chills, doesn't it?
It does. They're referring to this vast body of knowledge held within these often rare, often fragile books. So this archive, it isn't just about gathering old texts. It's an active preservation effort.
Right.
They're carefully digitizing and intentionally bringing back into the light wisdom that, well, by many accounts, was systematically pushed aside, devalued, maybe almost lost to history. It feels like a profound act of historical and even cultural reclamation.
And the sheer breadth of topics inside the archive is just astounding. It's like stepping into, I don't know, an ancient apothecary, or maybe a huge hidden library completely dedicated to natural wisdom.
That's a great way to put it.
Beyond homeopathy, like our guide, you find extensive sections on herbal remedies and plant medicine covering everything from detailed botanical descriptions to specific ways to prepare tinctures, poultices.
All the practical stuff.
Exactly. Then there's a really rich section on women's health and midwifery. These provide step-by-step guides for things like home births, herbal preparations to manage labor pains, or help with postpartum recovery. It's truly revealing generational knowledge.
And it doesn't stop there, does
Okay.
it?
Follow.
The collection also delves into folk healing, witchcraft, and root work. And maybe we should clarify. Root work refers to a really significant aspect of African American traditional healing practices.
Using herbs, roots.
Right, using herbs, roots, other natural elements for physical healing, but also spiritual protection, guidance. It highlights a vital, often marginalized tradition.
Absolutely vital. Then you've got sections on foraging and gardening, practical wisdom on identifying growing medicinal plants.
Stuff you could actually use.
Yeah. And for those intrigued by maybe more esoteric applications, there are occult herbals and astrological medicine,
Oh, why?
where the power of plants was believed to be linked to planets guiding when to harvest or prepare them for, maximum potency. It's just this remarkable tapestry of how humans interacted with the natural world.
It really is.
Which brings up a really important question. Why is it so crucial now, today, to preserve these particular texts, this kind of often overlooked knowledge?
Well, the archive offers a very compelling answer to that. It highlights the, quote, lived experience, remedies, tested by time, handwritten margins, and the quiet wisdom of those who relied on plants as their primary medicine.
I love that phrase, handwritten margins. You can almost feel the history.
Exactly. It's not abstract theory. It reflects generations of practical, hands-on healing, painstakingly documented right there in the pages. You almost feel the presence of the original users through their notes, their shared wisdom.
It's not just presented as some historical curiosity then.
No, not at all. It's explicitly framed as a toolkit, a living, breathing record of what worked in the past, based on generations of, well, trial and error, observation, and deep respect for the natural world.
A toolkit, that's interesting.
And what's truly compelling is how much of this practical insight, this botanical understanding, still resonates and offers valuable perspectives for today's challenges, especially maybe for those seeking alternative or complementary ways to think about health and wellness.
The archive also makes a statement that, wow, it really hits you. Women who knew the power of plants were once burned for it.
Yeah.
That immediately grabs you, doesn't it? It connects the knowledge in these pages to a very real, often tragic, historical reality.
It absolutely does.
For centuries, it was women who were the primary keepers of medical knowledge within their communities, within their homes.
It's a profound historical truth. If you connect this to the bigger picture, these women were the actual health practitioners for so many people.
The village healer, the midwife.
Exactly. They were the ones brewing teas for birth, making balms for grief, knowing precisely what to pick and when, really tuned into the rhythms of the land. Healing without any official permission, without formal training by our standards today.
And that knowledge passed down.
Passed down through generations, often by word of mouth, and then, crucially, documented in text, just like the ones in this archive. But then through various historical shifts or religious persecutions, the professionalization of medicine, that invaluable knowledge got systematically devalued, often silenced.
Sometimes brutally silenced.
Yes, sometimes with brutal consequences. So this collection, it feels like a powerful act of remembering that wisdom, giving voice back to those who were historically pushed to the margins and bringing their contributions back into the light.
And they weren't just guessing or relying purely on folklore, were they? The archive suggests they were, in a very real sense, scientists of the soil.
That's a fantastic term for it.
They meticulously observed, they experimented, they rigorously recorded methods for drying, grinding, steeping, dosing, they were doing empirical research.
Long before modern clinical trials.
Long before clinical trials or pharmaceutical companies even existed. This archive preserves not just their detailed formulations, but also this deep reverence they had for the natural world and the intricate systems they developed for practical healing. It's a testament to an incredible depth of knowledge, often rooted in intuition and deep experience.
Indeed. And these practices were often interwoven with daily life, with spiritual beliefs, creating a really holistic approach to well-being that went beyond just treating symptoms.
You see that in the texts?
Oh, definitely. You can see it woven through many of them, especially in those sections on folk healing or astrological medicine. The interconnectedness of human health, nature, even celestial cycles was deeply understood. It wasn't just which plant, but the right plant at the right time, prepared in the right way with the right intention. The archive makes that holistic framework really clear.
So, okay, what does all this mean for you, our listener, tuning in right now?
Good question.
Well, this incredible collection, which includes our deep dive subject, a guide to homeopathic practice, and, so much more, over 75 books in total, it's remarkably easy to get your hands on.
That's the amazing part.
The Botanical Archives offers instant download. It's entirely mobile and tablet-friendly, so you can carry this vast historical library with you literally anywhere in your garden, on a hike, just curled up on the couch.
Yeah.
And once you download it, it's yours. Forever. Just imagine having over 75 rare historical texts right at your fingertips, ready to explore whenever you feel curious.
It really encourages critical thinking, doesn't it? About how knowledge gets preserved and how we today can access and learn from these historical perspectives on health, nature, healing.
Yeah, it's more than just a digital library.
Absolutely. It feels like a profound chance to reclaim what history, for all sorts of complex reasons, tried to bury or just make inaccessible. If you've ever felt that pull towards, say, earth-based healing, or a curiosity about forgotten traditions, or just a desire to understand medical history from a completely different angle,
This could be it.
this archive feels like the door you were meant to find. It's a truly impressive achievement in digital preservation, making this specialized knowledge so widely accessible.
It's genuinely remarkable what Katie, the digital librarian behind the Botanical Archives, has put together. You can really feel her passion
You can.
for old books, for these forgotten remedies, for the quiet, enduring power of printed knowledge. It just shines through the whole collection. You can tell it's a true labor of love, compiled with incredible dedication to bring this wisdom back. And the value of having these historical practices, these different ways of thinking about wellness, instantly available. It's immense,
Yeah.
especially now when so many of us are looking for more holistic, more natural approaches to health.
Definitely.
So our deep dive today, starting with a classic like A Guide to Homeopathic Practice, has really, I think, shown us the immense value and historical richness tucked away inside the Botanical Archives.
It really has.
It's so much more than just a pile of old books. It's like a living portal to forgotten methods, powerful observations, and this deep intuitive connection to the natural world that shaped health and healing for centuries.
Yeah.
This collection, over 75 carefully chosen books, it just offers such an incredible opportunity to learn, to discover, maybe understand different approaches to well-being.
And this collection reminds us there's always more to learn from the past, right? That knowledge, even if it was once hidden or pushed aside,
Yep.
can be incredibly valuable when we understand it and maybe even apply parts of it today.
Sure.
We strongly encourage you to explore this incredible resource for yourself. Go take a look, discover the depth of wisdom it holds. It's really a chance to engage directly with the voices and methods of generations who came before us.
We really hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity about the rich, diverse history of healing and the enduring power of preserved knowledge. Thank you so much for joining us on this, this illuminating journey today.
As you consider a guide to homeopathic practice and the wider botanical archives, maybe ask yourself this: what other ancient wisdom, perhaps waiting quietly in the margins of other old texts, might hold unexpected keys to understanding our world and maybe even ourselves in profoundly new ways?